The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
You're now tuned into a Planet Fanatics production.
What'd y'all think of the leaked version of the X-Men 92 trailer?
X-Men 92?
I didn't watch it.
97. Season 2.
Marcus was telling me a little bit about it and who we can expect as far as characters, and I was somewhat intrigued by it. Maybe not enough to actually watch it, but somewhat intrigued. It's probably one of the better things going on with Marvel, so maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm interested in it. That's just me. I'm only interested in it, and this is a loose interest. Well, I don't want to say loose interested. Beau not being on it gives me major pause.
Sure.
Everybody knows I'm not like a Beau super fan, but I give credit where credit's due. And the motherfucker can write, and he understands those characters. And
including the black ones.
No, not including the black ones, but he understands those white characters. He, I guess if he's wearing his black hat, he can sympathize with the black characters, but he doesn't wear that often. So when it comes to
Aurora Monroe's skin darker in this,
that was at the behest of the actress that plays her voice.
I'll tell you what I do love, and I don't think I've said this to anybody before, but Steve, if you notice, her skin tone in 97 is a couple of shades darker than she was in the 90s. And
Wow.
I'm going, beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have
Yes.
all our own issues within our own community, and some of it is imposed and some of it is stuff that we do, but there is an ism that we battle with, and that's colorism, right?
Right.
And the gradations, the closer that you get to white is seen as more beautiful. And I just love because it's only when you don't pick up on it until you see them side by side, and you go, "Ooh, girlfriend got a tan," and she's been in the sun, and I love it. I thrill to that. So hair, that's great, all of that stuff, but just check how beautiful my girl's complexion is.
Yes, I love.
Brother, go watch this. I know you try your damnedest to defend Beau, and it always baffles me. But he's not the guy you want him to be. He's not. He's not the guy you want him to be. It was whoever plays Storm's voice, Allison something or whatever her name is. She asked for that in the 90s.
Right.
So she doubled down on it for 97. That wasn't Beau in there throwing his hands in the air saying Storm better be darker so I can send her to the desert to fight demons for 5 episodes and her not be included in any of the action. And when she is involved in the action, she's given more motivational speeches, because that's what he say on Twitter. That's where black women's strengths lie.
Forgot.
Yeah.
Every time I try it, and what?
Who does Chill want Beau Demayo to be?
A super nigga. Super saver nigga. That's what he wants him to be.
Why do you want that, Jill? I think that's a legitimate question. Why did you just laugh at it?
The joke and why I'm laughing so hard is that you took Darius for like the fact. So in past streams, Darius would say some outlandish shit about Beau Demayo, and you can say outlandish shit about Beau Demayo or anybody, and I'm just like, bro, you can't say things without proof. And then we'd get into it. And then I would ask for the proof. And then when it's my turn to shoot down all the stuff, my turn never really begins. Why are we?
Okay. So we got a little therapy session going on. So why do you do that, Darius?
I will cut Chill off when he's saying something inaccurate, like when he's repeating something that he says that I said that I didn't say, or he's trying to twist it into a way to make it fit the narrative that he's trying to, or the point that he's trying to make. No. Now I just let him speak. I just let him speak because he didn't say anything inaccurate. He didn't say anything inaccurate. There was no reason for me to cut him off. He was speaking accurately. But when you start talking that dumb shit, that bullshit, I cut him off.
Chillmonger, did you hear what he said? Did you actually take the time and listen to what Darius had to say?
In his opinion, I say inaccurate things. I do not say inaccurate things. actually cite sources often when I make my cases.
Once again, Chill does not listen because again he hears what he wants to hear so it can fit into the point he's trying to make. I didn't say that you pull inaccurate points. I said you pull inaccuracy on what I said when you're repeating what I said. When you go on to try to repeat things that I've said to prove your point, you're repeating inaccuracy and twisting my words to make them fit your point.
Chill, would you care to respond?
There's a super chat, and I want to get to that.
See, but that's the thing. I'm not being loud. I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, Darius is loud. Darius is animated. Darius is." I'm not being loud. I'm being calm. I'm letting you speak. I'm in my lane. You actually have the stage, and you are choosing not to take the mic.
Exactly what is happening.
So when I say things about Beau, just be quiet then. Because if you're not going to come on the stage, if you're not going to take the mic, if you're not going to defend your super nigga, shh.
Oh,
and
no,
let
no,
me
no.
just say what I have to say.
No. I'm going to always represent if I'm on screen with someone and they're saying all this negative thing, same way if Josh is on screen and he's hearing negative things about Ohio with a Michigan guy, he's going to say, yeah, this is not how I feel. This guy doesn't represent me. If I'm neutral and I don't say anything, then it'll look like I'm on the hate train, that whatever train that you want to call it if you're not a hater. So it seems like
I don't hate Beau.
It would seem like I'm on your team. What I won't do though, stand by. I'll always say nope, disagree. This is the guy who fought battles. This is the guy who has many many tweets that he has pointed at. Times he has gone for black characters. Funny, it's legitimate. And there's evidence enough for him not being he doesn't care about black characters guy, or presentation or version of the because now you're gonna say you're misrepresenting my words. I don't care to misrepresent your words right now. I just feel like I'm over it. But I will always say, nah. Like, if you're gonna go on the attack on Beau Demayo or anyone like Beau Demayo, the guy who made Cross, if you have something to say about Donald Glover, if you got something to say about insert creator
now
here,
I'm
it doesn't have to be
Now I'm
Beau.
going to cut you off because now you're trying to take it down a road that it's not going, that it never was going down. I have nothing to say about those other people. The reason I'm saying the things that I'm saying about Beau is because you just said something else that was also inaccurate. You said that I say things about Beau that are inaccurate. Here's the thing. The things that I say about Beau, he has displayed and shown you. Actually, because everything that we do on this channel is recorded, you can go pull this up. We were having a conversation about him to where you said I don't remember exactly. Again, you can pull it up exactly what you said, but I remember before you even said that, we were talking about him, and I said no, because for me, this is just for me. Can't speak for you, but obviously for you, it takes more than once. If I touch an oven once and it's hot, I don't have the urge to touch it again. I've been burned once. Why would I want to be burned a second, third, or fourth time? However, for you seem to touch the stove, go back and touch it again. Beau has shown you who he is the first time. Believe him. When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. I don't know why you expect Beau to change. I don't know why you're expecting Beau to all of a sudden put this emphasis and care on black characters when he didn't put that emphasis and care on the 3 main black characters in the show that were there. We spent all this time and all this expose and all this brilliant dialogue on all the white characters. Storm had one good scene as an Omega level mutant. The rest of the time, she was battling demons trying to get her powers back. And I understand that that's a plot point in comics. I've read it. I understand that. However, your explanation on Twitter when you are being combated by people of color that are wanting to see ourselves represented, something that you seem to advocate for all the time, but you seem to be missing the point in this conversation. When people are going at him on Twitter about it, and he's coming back with things saying like, oh, well, there's more strength in being in a black woman than her displaying her power. Sometimes it's within their wisdom. Storm was a mammy, as like the dude said on Twitter. I'm going to use, again, like I always use Marcus's words. Bishop was a time-traveling Uber, and Sunspot just didn't get the respect that he was supposed to get. So from those 3 very real things from 9 episodes, what shows you, Chillmonger, that and from the things that Beau has said on Twitter, what shows you that he actually gives a flying good goddamn about Black characters?
The things that he said on Twitter.
Okay, wait, before we move any further.
Don't do that. Don't do that. But like that's the problem.
But I need to
though.
ask a question. I need to ask
the
the question.
interruption stuff is the problem.
I'm sorry, but I need
can,
to ask this question. I have to. I'm sorry.
But like, see, it's like, guys, chat. I don't care what Josh has to say right now. There's a flow. There's a thing going on, and I'm like, all right, Darius gave it all to me. There was the flow was I was gonna knock down each one of those things that he did.
You can still do that. Yeah, but I just need to know if Darius feels.
Go ahead, Josh.
Darius clearly feels that, obviously the 3 of us and obviously everybody in the chat has a goal of real representation in mind, and not like Storm being a mammy and some of the things that we've seen in X-Men 97 with the Black characters. We all have a idea of what real representation is. Yes. And we all have a common idea of what that representation looks like.
Yeah, we may differ a little bit, but we understand. Yeah.
Okay. So then,
not when it comes to Beau, I don't with you. Well, I can on the other things we can have our disagreements and agree to disagree. This one, I do not understand why you kneel at his feet when it comes to this man and Black characters. I don't understand it. And you might not like the language that I just used, to kneel at his feet, but that's what you give. You're giving, because every time that somebody says something about Beau, specifically me, I don't want to say everybody. When I say something about Beau, it is always coming back with, oh no, Beau cares about Black characters, or Beau, and I'm just like, what? It's kind of like when the people that are still holding on to that hope of recast are like, oh no, Marvel's still going to recast. What the fuck have they shown you that indicates that? So what has Beau shown you that indicates that he cares about Black characters?
Okay, before I'm sorry, Chill. I'm sorry. I know it keeps happening right before you speak. I'm sorry. Okay, so we all have a common idea of what Black representation is in these stories. Darius, do you feel like Beau Demayo is a net negative when it comes to getting what it is that we want out of that representation?
Do I feel like he's negative?
Do you feel like the things that he's contributed versus the things that he's negatively contributed to the representation that we're looking for, do you feel like there's a net negative or an overall negative, or is it a net positive?
Like I said, positively, I can only praise him on his writing of the overall show,
which is a thing. So that is added to the equation of whether or not he is a net negative.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think he's just overall just negative. No, even some of the things he said lately on Twitter, not toward Black characters, of course, but just some of the things he said lately on Twitter, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I don't dislike Beau. I don't dislike the man. I dislike his treatment of Black characters being a Black man. I dislike the fact that he's so willing and so able to just put on the hat, take it off, put it on, take it off. Because see, when people were combating him about the Black stuff, oh, let me put that Black hat on, because now not only am I going to put my Black hat on, I'm going to put my gay hat on too, because I'm going to tell you why you don't need to attack a gay Black man the way you're attacking a gay Black man.
I didn't say I didn't fight. I did, but you have to read the room. If Marvel's saying, Beau, we said no, me pushing it further isn't going to do any good. Like, you weren't there, dude, and it's truly insulting when you don't trust another Black man to have his fight.
See,
that's what you mean when you say,
there it is.
Now you're a Black man.
There it is. I told you. There's that card. He likes to play it when it suits him. When it suits him, when he can use it to weaponize. Oh yeah, I'm Black today. Oh, I'm gay today. And when I'm both of them at the same time, oh, I'm strong man today. Yeah, I'm telling you, I got his number figured out. See, he uses those Black points when it suits him. I'm a Black man during this argument, but over here with this person, I'm gonna take that Black hat off. But when I'm talking with these Black folks on Twitter and they're coming at me over my decisions on the Black characters, let me put my Black hat on, because y'all not going to talk to me crazy as a Black man, as a gay Black man.
So then his changing of hats in this instance, that in and of itself is a negative.
Oh yeah,
That's a negative to what it is that we're trying to accomplish as fans of Marvel.
yeah. It shows that you're spineless. You have no spine. It's easy for you to put on this costume.
So then overall, would you say that the things that he's done is a positive or a negative for what it is that we're trying to see in Marvel as fans?
I'd say he hasn't contributed. Negative. He's
Okay,
contributed
so it's
negatively.
Negatively. Okay. Chillmonger, same question.
Positively.
Why? Darius is giving his reasons as to why. Why do you feel that he's a net positive?
Give him the forecast. That was the one scene. You're muted, like you read your lips.
That's crazy.
But like it's funny. He didn't even need to have his mic on to interrupt me but I was also looking at you. I didn't. There's the shit he would say on Twitter. Oh my god, Chillmonger gets to talk and point at things. The times where he wanted to darken this, he did accomplish darkening the skin of Aurora Monroe, that character. Sunspot. Does he know he's muted?
I don't think he knows he's muted.
No, I know I'm muted.
Oh, okay.
I'm letting him talk.
Got it. Okay, cool.
The
Anything else?
like
Positive,
no,
negative? Okay.
there's say that again. Anything else? What did you say at the end?
Positive or negative?
Overall, positive stuff because of the way Storm was depicted. But I also would like to tell you there's fighting battles that didn't make the show behind the scenes that he tweeted about having to do for Storm. There's things he wanted out of the Dora Milaje or the Black Panther scenes or all that stuff. There's things that he tried to do in the show that were shot down. I don't think that I can judge the output of the show and ignore what else he was trying to do. Adapting Storm's comic stuff with Forge, something that I would give him points for going, okay, let me Storm in that way. Like her being off the table for the Genosha thing logically made sense because we probably would have asked, where is she exactly? There's things he did there logically that to me go, okay, I'm with it. I understand it. And not to mention the sunspot stuff. I don't look at that guy like he wasn't trying to show out. He wasn't like the lines of dialogue, the sophisticated shit that he would have. I think like Roberto was like, nah, bro, I'm one of the good ones. I'm one of the good mutants. And I'm like going for there. And there's other little, let's call them woke moments inside this show.
Let's not call them woke.
I will call them moments in the show.
Chill, why are you talking like this? Like your mic keeps cutting out because you're talking so quietly.
Oh, sorry. I don't know, bro. It's because I'm over it. I'm over this thing. Just you can, and then Chad is over here. Chillmonger's dick riding, bro. There's nothing to defend without the attack. There's nothing to defend. If you're gonna say some outlandish shit about someone and say he doesn't care about black representation or whatever the words are, stand up and say I disagree with that.
So when you say that about Nate Moore, if somebody says that you're saying outlandish things about Nate Moore, do you think that you're saying outlandish things about Nate Moore?
I'll point and I'll cite evidence of Nathaniel Moore saying stuff like we couldn't recast T'Challa and use words that he actually.
Okay, so why can't we cite Beau then? Because you used an example of saying it made sense for her to be in the desert with Forge because he brought that comic story to life, and then logically for her not to be a Genosha, blah 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 blah. You do realize though she came back, and you do realize that when she came back, she gave Bastion a motivational speech about how she was trying to connect with his humanity.
I take issue with that. I take issue with that. But you do realize
she did that the entire show, Chill. Great. The entire show.
Great. Now you do realize that this guy was trying to do more with Storm, and the people who were around him in Marvel didn't allow for that to happen. So to judge the output, the show, what actually happened, what made it on screen, and then point our fingers at him, ignoring the people around him who contributed to the lacking moments of Storm, is disingenuous to do so without appreciating the whole picture.
You know what else is disingenuous? To pick and choose the Beau Demayo tweets that you want to use as leverage for arguments. I know what you're referring to. You're referring to when he said that, oh, I didn't have this, when he was arguing with other black folks, I didn't have the power to do the things with Storm I wanted to do, but you had the power to do the things you wanted to do with all the other characters. So Storm and T'Challa were the only two up there that you just couldn't.
That's how racism works.
Oh,
if you acknowledge that,
but
that tweet exists,
you being the showrunner, you being the showrunner, and you were on Twitter letting us all know all the time, I'm the showrunner, I'm this. I had this, I made this decision, I made that decision. It was me. Those were my writers. This is I'm this. I'm so why weren't you those things when it came to the black characters? I don't chill.
Literally, just do I need to repeat the tweet? That's why.
That's fine. So what you're comfortable then with that? You're comfortable with him
Maybe
saying,
I need to pull it up word for word.
I get it. You're comfortable with him saying, I get it. Racism's involved. So let me put on my yes a massa hat and do what y'all are telling me to do.
No, some things he
but
was
yet
able
you
to
watched the dairy trailer last week. No, because now I'm pissed. Now I'm going. Yet you watched the dairy trailer.
Now that
last
you're going
week.
though, you do have to let me go.
Dairy trailer. I let you go.
But you stopped. You had to pause.
7, 8, 9 minutes. Now I'm going to go really quick. Yet you watched the dairy trailer last weekend, and while watching that, you had pause on the dairy trailer because of the way black folks were being represented. But you don't have pause when black folks are being represented because you happen to like this super nigga.
No.
Yes,
because
that's what it is.
Because I don't ignore that he has openly said that he was trying to do certain things with the black characters and was being shot down. And to ignore that is to be disingenuous, is to ignore that this guy has been trying to do pro-black things with the content. To ignore that and go, well, he was able to do it with the white guys, he couldn't do it with the black guys. That's exactly the point. That they were okay with him using some white, and some of them were even mad at him doing some stuff with Cyclops. Why is there a man leading the team and stuff like that? To ignore that, which is what you're doing, and I'm going to repeat that. You are ignoring that this man was campaigning and trying to do excellence with some black characters and was being shot down. For that reason, and without you knowing exactly what was happening behind the scenes, without you knowing that to speak like, this guy didn't care.
Knowing what was going on behind the scenes, Chillmonger. What do you mean by that? He writes novels and tells us what's going on behind the scenes. The man can't get on Twitter without telling us what goes on behind the scenes. He has written novel after novel after novel. You want to know? But when the trailer came out, that's what Twitter was saying. The entirety of Twitter was saying, I am shocked bro hasn't given us a novel on how much he disliked the trailer because we're so used to him giving us fucking novels. So what do you mean I wasn't privy to what was going on behind the scenes? He told me what was going on behind the scenes.
It appears what you're telling me is that if there was something to know, you would have already known about it, and that he isn't withholding things. That you know everything you need to know because he would have already said everything. Is that what you're saying? Are you implying that there is no secret fights he had with Storm or Black Panther or any black characters because he hasn't said it yet on Twitter?
No, he has said those things. He has said.
No, are you saying that though? But are you saying that because you're not gonna?
So chill. It sounds like
you're not gonna participate in this
because
challenge that I'm giving you. I'm allowing
your little challenges, your little pop quizzes that you try to give during arguments. It's
the ultimatum.
I can fit into your no, it's not a goddamn ultimatum. It's because you want me to fit into the fucking narrative that's the point that you're trying to make. But I'm not. As I tell you every time, this is not a classroom. You're not a teacher. I'm not taking your pop quiz to fit your narrative.
All right. I'm still gonna say it. If a guy doesn't tell you or doesn't tweet out exactly what the battle for Storm was, or multiple battles for Storm, it doesn't mean the battles didn't take place and that stuff it didn't happen because you didn't hear about it on Twitter.
But wouldn't Beau say something in his defense in the situation that for whatever reason he couldn't do a better Aurora, for example?
Yes.
Wouldn't he tweet that out?
He has said that, but I believe Darius is looking for the specific things and story plots and
No,
and,
Darius is
and
not looking for. I don't need your minute details of what you were going to do. I just want
I
to
thought
know.
that's exactly what you were looking for.
No, I was looking for Storm to do something other than bring the goddamn forecast in episode 1.
Yeah, and because he tried to do more than that, and he has spoken about trying to do more than that, but was shot down. That's what I want to bring attention towards and say he was literally, and he has said this on Twitter, tried.
Chill. So then why, when he was arguing with the dude that called Storm a mammy, why didn't he preference that then? Why was it weeks after? Because you want to know why it was weeks after and he didn't tell the dude then? Because he had to, that was more that he had to come up with. More he had to come up with. He did not, when he was having the original argument with that dude that called Storm a mammy, he did not say that. Why not say that then? Why wait weeks after to form a new argument to cover the lies that you were telling in the previous argument?
That conversation with Marcel for Congress, that on Twitter, that thread, what he said there does not negate that he had battles for Storm and things he wanted to do with Storm that he couldn't do.
I gotta go get my pen. You continue to say what you're gonna say because you have made my blood pressure go up. So I gotta take a hit of my pen. I'll be back.
Gotcha. No matter what he does say on Twitter to defend the things that did happen, does not undo that he tried doing pro-black shit with Storm and other characters and was shot down. And to say, well, based off the things that I did see, or based off the explanations for Storm's attitudes and things he was trying to do, or things he was able to do, we can't say he wasn't trying with the black characters at all. We can't say that. That's dishonest. That's judging a product that was not his full vision, his pro-black vision.
Your green screen is not in my provision. Okay, so the reason why, and I know chat's saying that I'm scheming here and that I'm trying to make something happen.
We were done anyways.
I really don't know.
You might have been. I wasn't.
I really don't know that much about
Beau Demayo. And we
Demayo.
have no topics left. That's what I meant.
My turn to speak now. I don't know that much about Beau Demayo, so I'm not on either side. So as a person in the middle, I'm trying to make my decision, and it's hard now because I feel like one person is giving the energy behind the passion, and the other person is kind of just
telling the truth,
like whatever.
There's no. I mean, it's your truth. It's your truth, and it's your truth because you have this weird fictional friendship with Beau, but he just because he follows you, just because he replies to your tweets every now and then, doesn't mean anything. No, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. That doesn't mean anything. You have this weird fixation with Beau, but he doesn't have that with you. He doesn't. And the thing about that is, you're defending him so hard. And I said this the last time. You're defending him so hard. When he couldn't even. I have valid reasons to attack him hard.
Valid reasons to defend the attacks.
Your valid reasons are contradicting every time that you say black folks aren't being represented in the right way from when you watch another project. That's why I don't even take your opinion on the dairy shit. The Welcome to Dairy. Anybody watching shouldn't take your opinion seriously on Welcome to Dairy, because if you flip flop every time every time it comes to black representation, then why would I as a viewer take you seriously on your opinion on black representation when you defend someone so hard that doesn't give a fuck about black representation?
That's the thing that he just said there, and that's the parts where I'll say,
oh, he doesn't like it when I say that.
Welcome to Dairy.
When I point out the obvious.
But Welcome to Dairy, though, just to be clear, there was a scene. This takes place 70, 80, maybe 100 years ago, but there was a scene where there was white people, evil raises white people, and they looked at the black family like they were less than. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like that, seeing that in my fiction. That was the criticism that I had. I don't like the status that they were seen and perceived in.
I love my black folks sidelined in my fiction.
One has nothing to do with the other. I can take issues with sidelined black characters. I can also take issues with, in Welcome to Dairy, the black characters were being looked at as less than.
Chill, do you agree with this statement? X-Men 97, black people weren't represented properly. Do you agree with that statement?
I don't like the Storm speech, the Bastion, the forgiveness stuff. So yes, I agree there. Black people weren't represented properly. Give me another example, and I'll tell you whether I agree or I don't agree with it.
I think they've given you multiple.
Don't. Nobody give him
Play
another
them.
example.
Click
He
on
watched the exact same fucking show we watched. He watched the exact same It trailer we watched. If he got that from the It trailer, but he's not getting what we're getting from that, he doesn't want to get it.
No.
He doesn't want to get
I
it.
recognize every problem in X-Men 97, and I'll give you that. But I will also just tell you the damn truth. That Beau DeMayo was trying and wasn't able to get some of the great representation stuff on screen. Because
then Nate
he's
was
being
trying. Nate tried to. Then I'm flip-flopping like you. Nate tried to.
Sorry, Chill, I'm not trying to.
Nate literally told us.
Nate tried to.
Nate literally told us he wasn't trying
Nate
at
tried
all.
to. Yeah, but
Nate told us he wanted to kill the character. Nate has quotes. Nate's position.
Panther, you can't have T'Challa. If you don't love T'Challa, how can you love the Black Panther? He's also given us some good tidbits too. So if you're gonna use that on Beau, then I'm gonna be right on the right there with Nate. Hey, power to Nate. I'm gonna go watch fucking Real World or whatever the fuck he's on. Survivor. Power to Nate.
The words coming out of your mouth now, the comparison you tried to make doesn't line up at all from Nate Moore. This guy literally wants T'Challa to be dead. Can't accomplish it without Chadwick Boseman, and has told us that.
Yet on
but
his Survivor,
Beau DeMayo tried doing things with Storm and was shot down.
So
do you acknowledge that, or do you think he's lying? Darius,
you can't.
Darius, do you acknowledge that Beau DeMayo was trying to do things with Storm and was shot down, or you think he was lying when he said that?
Chill. Again,
he's not gonna answer.
I am going to answer because I've already answered that. I told you I acknowledge that because he said that shit on Twitter because he tells us fucking everything. He said that on Twitter. I'm aware of that. That's not news to me. You're trying to break some news. That's not news breaking. He said that.
Do you accept that he's telling the truth when he says that? That's what I meant.
What is this fucking weird game you're trying to play where you want me to answer? Do I think that he was telling the truth?
Yeah, that's what I meant when
Beau was telling the truth when he put on Twitter. I don't know. I look at all of Beau's tweets and I wonder, is the nigga telling the truth? I don't know. But judging by the way Storm was treated, no. If that answers your fucking question. No, I don't.
You don't believe he was telling the truth?
No.
Behind the stage?
No, I don't believe he was telling the truth. Based off the way Storm was treated.
No. Okay, let me just make it clear.
I hate when
he says that
that I'm unintelligent, and
you said based off this, brother. You said based off the way Storm was treated. So not based off the way Storm was treated, based off because he was trying to make Storm be treated better than that. So, do you believe that he was trying to do when he says this on Twitter? Do you believe he's telling the truth? That he was having battles for Storm, pro Black excellence moments with Storm, and was fighting that with Marvel. Do you believe that he's telling the truth? He was actually trying to do that pro Black stuff with Storm.
That's tough. Maybe I believe him, but that's tough because you're the showrunner. You got everything else you wanted. Everything else. Magneto in a goddamn Speedo. You got that. But you could. So that's tough. That's tough. You got the horny X-Men that you wanted, but you couldn't. So it's tough. That's tough. You're the fucking showrunner.
Is it a yes or a no?
No, I don't. You got Magneto in a Speedo, so no. You literally emulated the picture of yourself that you posted.
I got you.
And put it into the cartoon. So no, I don't.
So there, we just kind of identified. Maybe we don't need to revisit the Beau DeMayo thing again, but we just kind of identified what the problem is. That I do believe him that he was fighting for Storm and Black representation and was being shot down by that Dana woman, the Dana Vasquez. Maybe Brad Winderbaum here or there, maybe a Ryan Coogler. Hey, you can't do that with the hair.
You're telling me.
Let me go, brother. Let me go.
Yeah, go. Please go.
Ryan Coogler. I do believe the crux of it is that I do believe him when he says I was trying to do pro Black shit, and was shot down by it, making Roberto skin darker than he's being told, actually, we have enough black representation. We got to work more on Latino. I do believe him when he says that, and you don't, which is why you say, the thing that the beginning of this fight, which is that Beau Demayo doesn't care. I do believe him. I believe him. I take him for his word. But Darius, I mean, I respect you, and I enjoy doing these with you. So long as we're listening to each other, I'm sure the audience enjoys this too. It's all good. But that's the problem. That's where we disagree. That I say he was fighting and was actually being shot down. You don't.
Okay, so my thing is this. So you're telling me, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Marvel doesn't have some weird anti-black agenda over there. We've seen that. But you're telling me that he went to them and said, I want Storm to do some crazy Omega level mutant shit and it'd be so cool. And they said, nah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I believe
I
that.
want Magneto in a Speedo. And they said, all right.
Yeah, that's how racism works.
I want to do a weird, horny, questionable bisexual relationship between Wolverine and Morph. Okay, that's cool too. But Storm having cool scenes?
Yeah, I think they're that anti-black over there. Yes.
I have a hard time believing that one. As much as I believe they are anti-black, because I do. I'm sitting over here, been talking about recast T'Challa for fucking 4 years. I don't believe that one. I don't believe that they said, sure, prop that nigga up in his underwear. But Storm can't have a cool scene.
Yeah, because they're
accepting
have
of
white
Morph tell Wolverine, I know where I can scratch your back in the shower. But Storm can't have cool scenes.
To have Magneto in a Speedo,
I don't believe it.
Would seem that you have a considerable amount of control over the show. That would lead me to believe that you have enough creative control to do what you need to do with Storm in that case.
So Josh, you also don't believe that he's fought these battles for Storm? You also don't believe it?
I don't think those two are. I feel like he has a considerable amount of power, right? That he could have done more for Aurora Monroe. Yeah, Aurora Monroe. So whether he fought for him, he shouldn't have needed to do that because he could get Magneto in a Speedo. Right? I don't hear a fight being made over that, so he should have been able to do more with the character of Storm.
Is having Magneto in a Speedo a skin tone race issue? No, it's not.
And no, it just sounds like a thing that he had creative control over.
Yeah, I understand what you guys are saying.
Creative control over that.
I get the idea that if he's got enough creative control to do something so outlandish like Magneto Speedo thing, then he should have enough creative control to do things with Storm.
Or even if not Storm, as Chad is saying, Sunspot or Bishop or literally any of those things.
Pride is what I'm trying to say, though. And he was shot down for those, but not shot down for the Speedo stuff. One is a little bit more accepting, like the not nudist, but the body part stuff is more accepted than black representation,
which is crazy,
but it's true, and I believe it's true. And I have a history of Hollywood and stuff, especially the recent history, showing you of how black excellence is kind of being treated less than, let's call it, rainbow excellence in Hollywood.
We know all that, though. But
we know all that?
Yeah.
That's then all right.
No. Specifically talking about X-Men 97, it goes back to the creative control that he had. He put himself in the show, Chillmonger. He was in the show. He was on Genosha when it imploded. So like you can't tell me that he just didn't have like that they like I'm sitting here on the same like Marvel does some weird anti-black shit, but I just don't think that they told him, who had the creative control that he had with all of the shit we saw, some dope ass scenes. I've rewatched X-Men 97 multiple times. I've come on the afternoon report and said how, to me, post Endgame, that is the best thing they've done. But it's what he did with those black characters is still unexcusable. My most disliked video on my channel to date, because I sniffed it before everybody else did, It's my I put that was I think I was the first person that even put out a video. I said X97. I think the title of it is X97 is great, but we have a sunspot problem or something like that. Most
Oh
disliked
yeah, I
video.
dislike that one too.
Yeah, most disliked video. I had people in the comments telling me, you know, oh, it's the second episode, let it go, or here we go, or da 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 da. For us to get to the end, for me to have been right. Sunspot still treated like shit. Bishop was only even in the new trailer when he said, we got to get the X-Men back to the 90s. And I bet you that's the crux of what he's going to be doing.
Wait, does that help my case though? Like they're still treating the black characters less than without Beau there. Doesn't that mean like, oh, maybe Chillmonger's onto something? Maybe there is an agenda of restricting the black characters still.
I think there's some truth to what you're saying, Chillmonger. I just don't. Again,
no
with
one, yeah,
said
thank
amount
you.
of control.
No one's that's because what you're saying is not a good point. No one's disagreeing that. We all, even people in the chat, know that there is some weird anti-black agenda at Marvel. But again, when you have the creative control that you have, I'm going to go back to the Speedo. You keep just kind of rolling over that. Like that was just like, oh, no, he put Magneto in a Speedo. It's literally the emulating the picture of him, bro, of him. He put that in there.
Because they're okay with that, but they're not okay. They're anti-black. They're not anti-Speedo. They're anti-black.
So, okay, so the morph shit. Whatever he said to him in the shower.
But there's same response. They're anti-black, not anti-shower.
No. I just.
Well. Plus, if he's super nigga like Darius keeps calling him,
that's
wouldn't he be able to fight back at some level on something that needs to change for one of the black characters? Any of them. It does not have to be Storm. It could be any of the things that was a problem in X-Men 97.
Where was Sunspot's dad? He talked about that on Twitter too. He talked about everything on Twitter. There's nothing that you can say that he hasn't already told all of us. Literally, again, X-Men 97, when the trailer leaked, people on Twitter were shocked that he didn't give a see more tweet. Because that's all he gives us. He tells us everything. When I pulled into my parking spot at Marvel Studios, I saw a bird. And that bird, he tells us everything.
So,
everything.
Boondocks, the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because he's vocal and says lots of stuff doesn't mean he said everything that he knows or is willing to share. I don't think like, oh, something's missing. He didn't say something. That's evidence of that. Not like he's in the middle of a court case, isn't he? Like, let them. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
I don't know what his court case has to do with the black representation, because he can speak on that, and he has spoken on that. I mean, here's my thing too. As much as I've even, as rewatched X-Men 97 and things like that, even when Storm comes back and they get to that scene where she's given another motivational speech, because that's what she does. Let them mind your weather and let them weather your mind. And she goes out there. I was thinking the first time, even in my rewatches, I don't know why. I'm just like, I guess I just would hope that or wish that it was there now in my rewatches. But I'm expecting, okay, now, and just in my first watch, now she's about to go out there and she's about to do some shit. No. She made a tornado come and then she got struck down into the ocean. Meanwhile, every other fucking character gets all this shine.
Yeah. The output, what was put out, what the product of the work.
Okay, so let me ask this. Before you say that, let me ask this. Before you say that, let me ask you this. If they have this anti-black agenda to where you have to kind of put a lid on the black characters, why didn't they do that in Infinity War? Why wasn't that done for the Russos or Civil War? Why didn't Marvel tell the Russos in Civil War that's too cool of a scene for Black Panther? Pull back. Why didn't they tell him that in Infinity War? That's too cool of a scene for Black Panther. Pull back. So why did they tell Beau that's too cool of a scene for Storm? Pull back. What makes her different from T'Challa? Being they're both black.
Characters are Beau, the Russo brothers, different ethnicities over there. I can point
What
to that.
the fuck does the ethnicity have to do with the command of pull back, they're black?
I can tell you that they studios, executives, bosses are more, we control you if you are not a white man.
Okay. That still doesn't, that I get what you're saying, but that still doesn't, it doesn't to me apply to what I'm saying. Regardless of the director, showrunner, whoever's color, the character itself that we're giving shine to is still black.
I'll give you another. Dana Vasquez, I believe is her name, was someone who was shooting down many of it. Who else was it? Beau was mentioning some other people's names who were around as executives who were not present for that Civil War Russo brothers, great representation of T'Challa. And so the pieces, the people around saying no were different people.
Okay.
Got him.
You didn't.
Yeah,
you didn't. You're trying to weave your way and finagle your way out of this because
I just told the truth.
No, because you don't want to. You again, why you don't want to? I don't know.
Brother, your comparison didn't work. It's not the same people saying no and being restrictive in Civil War that there were who were working on X-Men 97.
Okay, my point is Marvel Studios as a whole. Marvel Studios as a whole, if there's this anti-black rhetoric that you say that there is, Marvel Studios as a whole is not going to pick and choose when they want to implement that rhetoric. They're not going to say, oh, that director's white, so I'm not going to implement, oh, that showrunner's white, or I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, oh, that person's black, now I'm gonna implement that. That makes zero fucking sense. Zero. So what no, I let you talk. Shh. That makes 0 sense. 0 sense. So for you to sit and try to say, oh, got him, finangled him. No, that makes 0 sense. 0 for them to pick and choose when to implement a anti-black rhetoric. That doesn't make sense.
Marvel Studios as a whole is not a person with opinions who does policies. But the people who they hire is who I can point at and tell you, while the paycheck says Marvel for all of them, the people who were working on X-Men 97, that Beau Demayo says their names and sometimes doesn't say their names and sometimes deletes the times he does say their names, those people were not working on Civil War. The comparison doesn't work. Marvel Studios and them sharing that isn't the point you may think that it is.
Okay. I'm going to let you live in the delusion that you live in with Beau. I'm going to let you think that he is the super nigga and that let him have all the capes that you're awarding him.
You address what I said?
And you can, I don't care anymore because I don't care anymore. And again, as a viewer, I would not take your opinions seriously when it comes to black representation and when not to implement it because you are picky and choosy with it. Why it's with Beau, I don't know. And I'm done trying to decode.
Oh, I told you why.
No.
We found it. We found out why.
No. You didn't tell me why.
Yeah, we did. I believe he's telling the truth. You believe he's telling a lie.
And again, I think that's, I put you in the same. There was a tweet the other day that said, "What's a mental illness?" And somebody quote retweeted and said, "Black MAGA." I'm putting you in that same thing. You have a mental delusion illness with Beau. I don't understand it. I'm done trying to decode it. You think the nigga super nigga? Hey, award him the capes.
Can I ask a question? Is it true that Beau Demayo follows you? Chill.
Twitter?
Yeah.
What? Where? Go. Keep going.
Do you feel that shapes the way you feel about Beau Demayo in any way?
Follow alone?
Or just follow, interacting? Do you feel like any of it has anything to do with how you feel about him? Has it changed any sort of way about how you feel about him as a creator?
Killmonger's gonna do the thing where he cites evidence. Nothing I said today was resulting or I reference that he follows me on Twitter.
No, it
Plus-
doesn't. That's
plus-
not where this question came from.
Plus, the day we were live streaming, the day that the Hollywood Reporter came out with their thing, he didn't follow me, and I saw the words that they used and the egregious conduct and egregious findings and this and that. I had the opinion that Disney was full of it, and I sided with Beau DeMayo's side before ever meeting this guy, before he ever watched a video of mine or I've ever followed him. Or I
We
wasn't
debated about that too. I found that strange.
before I
That
ever
he
met
watched
the
the
guy, right?
video.
Sorry.
I was confused as to why Darius was confused.
So you're talking about that Thursday when that article came out? Is that what Darius meant when he said you're confused with that?
Yes, the day that the article came out, we also debated because on the egregious findings thing, he seems to think that, egregious find or whatever. He seems to think that the word or whatever. I don't even remember what his argument was. It was baseless then too. But yeah. So yeah.
So I did draw attention to how they're not speaking about the breach of the contract after the departure, the non-disclosure agreement that Beau DeMayo felt that was infringing on his rights. That was the crux of the case that he's filed against them, and they just were talking about why he was fired in the first place rather than talking about what Beau DeMayo's problems are. And I saw that and I called it out then. So Josh, back to your question, how did you put it that he follows me on Twitter and I follow him
Has
back?
any of that changed how you feel about him in any way?
I would say this about him, and Chillmonger has not been off code one time when it comes to any Black creative who's going to be accused of no evidence, because I can go at Nate more. But I've been on code when it comes to Beau DeMayo as I'll be with everyone else. And if it feels I'm vigorously defending it, my brother on the middle of the screen is vigorously attacking Beau DeMayo, and therefore it leads me to here. Let me talk and say some things.
The only reason I ask is because I have come across people on social media as well, and it may or may not have changed my mind about some of the things that they've done. Right? I'm no better in this situation. I'm just asking if you feel like that has in some way, shape, or form changed your view positively about Beau DeMayo.
Since the jump. I've been this way since the jump. And if he one day does here's this email where I was talking about why Storm should do this scene instead and this, and he reveals that scene, I'm gonna be like, all right, told you he was telling the truth, because Darius did. We got it out of him. He says that Beau DeMayo was lying about that stuff.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. That is really it. I wasn't even gonna say anything because I'm not attacking Beau on baseless, on anything baseless. I'm going off of what the man has told us.
I also don't feel that Darius has been necessarily attacking.
All right.
Maybe saying so passionately, but not necessarily attacking.
All right. Is it an attack? Is it what is it to say Beau DeMayo doesn't care about Black characters?
An observation, an astute observation,
opinion.
actually. Nope.
It could be an opinion. It very well could be an opinion as well. It's not necessarily attacking.
Because I'm going to still stay with observation because I'm not the only one that observed that.
Again, you're not privy to the times he was trying to fight for the Black characters. So you're going off of the final product, which is gone through a filter of the anti-Black Marvel executives.
Let's
I was almost there too.
Going off the final product and going off of what he has said. I mean, I don't know how many times I don't know why you are picking and choosing. It's like I don't know why you're picking and choosing what tweets like you want to use and what tweets he told us these things in tweets, Chill. I'm not like pulling this out of the air. I have no reason to attack Beau DeMayo. Zero. I'm going off of what he has said online.
And you're rejecting something he said online too, that he's telling a falsehood.
Mm-hmm. Based off of my observations. Yep, I sure am.
Like I said, that's the pinpointing the moment in which we have this disagreement. Is my microphone on well right now, guys? Yes. Sorry. Just let me know if I need to speak up because I forget to.
And not for nothing, Chill. I don't I don't think that you're wrong in every case. In this specific case, I feel like there is some merit, obviously, to the fact that Marvel is anti-black. We talk about this all the time. However, I'm not going to let Beau escape any accountability of what it is that he brings to black representation as well. Like there is some accountability that needs to be held on him as a black creator when he's doing things for his LGBT side, but he's not doing some of those same things for his black side.
Same thing I just told to Darius. They don't push back on some of that LGBT side stuff. There's pushback for the black stuff.
And that's fine, but he needs to fight harder then in that case.
But see, Chill's argument is we don't know if he fought harder. We don't know what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That's his argument. His argument is that. But my thing is, if that is his argument, I'm going to take it back to the Marcel. When Marcel was arguing with him, if I'm Beau, this is just me, but maybe we don't all think the same. If I'm Beau, and Marcel comes at me and says, oh, you relegated Storm to being a mammy, the first thing I'm going to say is, brother, with respect, you have no idea how hard I fought for Storm behind the scenes. I'm not going to immediately go into, there's more to strength in a black woman than her showing her physical power. Because myself, I've been a black woman and I can speak for black women. Get the fuck out of here. Get the brother. Woo.
That's a bit of guesswork though. The right thing for him to say to defend the scene he did end up putting out.
But he never said what. But in all the
he
time
said it was separately. He did the tweet
later on, like weeks after he kind of got to form another argument.
Okay, I hear you.
I would have said that. I mean, why not?
It could be that he's like backpedaling. It could be that he was like, oh shit, they're on to me. Okay, let me just put this out there that I was doing battles. I hear you, Darius. That's a theory. And a dishonest kind of Weasley kind of guy would do something like that.
But
That's
why would you?
It's within the realm of believability that a creative would be like, oh, getting hot in here. Let me just put this out. Yeah, okay. It's possible. I just don't want to accuse someone of being that way or say it with definitiveness. And I'm going to stick up until I have evidence otherwise of him being full of it and not for representation and black representation. Yeah. I'm just not there with the finger point and the definitive statements of how he doesn't care. But I do agree, guys, that there were lackluster moments when it came to the black representation stuff. Every time anyone in the chat will tell me, well, this happened in X-Men 97, I'm going to nod my head and I'm going to say, yeah, could have been better. Was bad. Except for the, give him the forecast stuff and stuff like that. But every other...
I want to let you know, that's the only one you can go to. Everyone here that's watching, there's not another scene that you can point to outside of give them the forecast for any of the black characters. So when Chillmonger references that moment, that's it. I don't know who's all seen 97. That's it. And I think it's episode 1. So and there's 9. So from episode 1 to 9, there's never a bring them the forecast moment again.
Yes, an anti-black X-Men 97 headquarters. There wasn't another moment like that again.
With the black showrunner that got everything else he wanted. I don't give a fuck about your anti-black rhetoric. I know what you're saying. We all get that. Stop rolling your eyes and looking around as if we don't understand that. I'm telling you, it does not make sense here, Chill. It makes 0 sense. He got everything else he wanted.
It does make sense.
Tina even just told
you. It's because everything else isn't LGBT black stuff. Representation.
She
everything
just told
else...
you they do push back on the LGBT stuff. That's why Victoria Alonso, I don't know this.
There was going to be a drag.
She said. That's
there
why
was going to be a drag.
Got the payout.
You're right. There was going to be a drag moment that he spoke on one of those, and they shot it down. They said, "Nah, we don't want to alienate the audience," or whatever the answer was. Some things in the LGBTQ sphere was shot down. That is not evidence that they weren't shooting down the black stuff left, right, and center.
Oh my goodness.
Not.
My. Well, like I said, As a viewer, I just
We'll actually never get to the bottom of this. He would have to, like, share the email files back and forth with how nah, Storm needs to be dressed like this, and episode 7 needs to be about her, and then the Phoenix is gonna fight. Like, he'd have to reveal those, and that's just not gonna happen, because after this case, should there be a settlement, it'll be some, okay, you don't speak on us, we don't speak on you, and we'll never get that answer.
So you don't find you don't have a pause that he has literally talked about so many other things, like things that he was going to do in the show, characters he was going to put in the show. Why would him saying, oh, and I was going to do this with Storm, how would that affect his case or the settlement or anything? If he's so able to talk about all the other things that he's just, literally telling us for free every day, what would stop him from including what he was going to do with Storm? How does that affect his case?
Could be.
Chill. Stop. Please stop. Because there's no could be on that. How is he telling us everything else? But you're telling me Marvel told him, hey, you better not say shit about Storm. That doesn't make sense, bro. Stop. That doesn't make sense.
There could be a lot of reasons why he would sit on that, including plans to do something in the future, plans to get these things executed in the second season of X-Men 97, which he did write, or even now that he's out with his friends who are still at season 2, implement do that scenes with Storm. And the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Him not speaking on something like what he wanted to do with Storm doesn't mean that he wasn't trying to do things with Storm.
But he could speak on everything else. I'm just asking.
He's not speaking on everything else. There's lots of things he's not telling that he tried to do that were shot down and that were redirected. Not just black characters, just everyone in general.
I'm just asking, that just doesn't give you pause, that because he has talked about characters he wanted to put in. He has talked about scenes he's wanted to do. He has talked about voice actresses that were going to be a part of it. He's talked about everything. So that doesn't give you, in your critical thinking skills, that doesn't give you pause. I
disagree with the first part of the statement. He has given everything, so that doesn't give you pause. I'm telling you, that's literally what I said a minute ago before you started, that he hasn't given everything on every character and everything. Okay. He hasn't.
So so it's maybe you're not understanding the point I'm making, or I'm trying to make here. The things he has told us about characters that were going to be in it, scenes he was going to do, certain this, that were all these things, that does not give you pause when it comes to, so if he's able to talk, if he's just so willing to talk about all that, then what would say, your point is, well, they could be using that. Why not even just say, man, some of the dope stuff I had for Storm would have blown you guys' minds, because he says everything else. So there's nothing that, he doesn't have to give us, beat for beat what the scene was going to be. He could even just say something but he hasn't. And my point with that is, he has said so much more about the show that we haven't even asked. Quite frankly, a lot of people are sick of him on Twitter. Again, I take you back to the X-97 leak trailer day at New York Comic-Con. People were baffled that the motherfucker didn't have a Seymour tweet. So that doesn't give you pause.
Wait. Let's think about that. He didn't say something after the X-Men 97 trailer. Didn't post anything.
No, he said something positive.
Oh,
I praised him.
Did tweet something? He did or he didn't?
He did. He said something positive about it.
So people are upset, he didn't say anything negative about it.
Yes. People are upset that he just didn't give a long synopsis of what he's basically already been doing on Twitter.
Why are you saying that then? Why are you telling me what was the point that he hasn't tweeted something long and negative? Meaning what?
Meaning, okay, so is it all going over your head? Meaning, I clearly it is.
Please repeat it for me.
Meaning,
so he has tweeted.
He says so much shit already.
Yeah.
he does not have to give a beat for beat scene on what Storm he was going to do with Storm, but he hasn't even said anything about like, oh man, some of the stuff I had for Storm was going to be fucking dope, would have blown y'all's minds. But he has said so much more. So that's what I'm asking you. Does that not give you pause that he has said so much more, but he hasn't said anything like that?
I want to answer your question, but you didn't answer my question. I wanted to know the relevance of why you brought up
that was me answering your question. That was the fucking relevance. He talks about everything else. So why I said that was because I brought that tweet up from the X97 leak day because he talks all the time. People were baffled he wasn't talking.
But he did say something nice about it instead of saying something negative about it. So he talked.
Okay. So for you to be the super fan that you are of Beau, you don't pay attention to him. When he does tweet, typically you have to click see more. With that tweet, you didn't. People were shocked because he didn't ramble. He didn't talk about how his version was going to be better. He didn't talk. That's what people were talking about because he talks so much. So my point is with all the talking he does, it does not give you pause that he hasn't said anything about,
a point. You're asking a question
about Storm.
Not a point. You're asking a question. You said my point is
okay.
Well, since he doesn't get caught.
Now you're trying to do this that weird shit that you do.
Did ask a question. You started with my point is.
I'm done. I'm done.
That just happened.
If you want to again continue to put the cape on the back of Beau.
Not what I'm doing.
Naively lead.
Not what I'm doing. You asked the question after you began the statement with my point is. I was waiting for the point.
You can.
But you didn't provide a point. You asked the question.
To live in that. I'm just.
That just happened.
It's extremely strange to me. I will never get it.
I will never
Demayo's
cape.
Never get it. But
can you like
do it? So
can you like
have fun in that?
Can you like live in the reality that I am?
Can you live in the reality that
you started with
my
point? You started with the point, and then you asked the
weird
question.
Reason.
At this point, you two aren't even really saying anything anymore. The both of you are talking over each other.
That's why I said
talking over each other.
The both of you are talking over each other.
Done with it because I mean, there's
how come we're talking over each other?
You're literally doing it right now.
I know it's happening right now. I get it, and I'm intentionally doing it this time because I all the time pause because I know it's hard to listen to. But if I say something like, yo, what you just said wasn't right, like you said, the point is, and then you turned it into a question, you can't be a point if it's a question. That's valid, and it just happened.
It's a rhetorical
and then he's
question.
like, let me change the subject
Thank
into
you, Josh.
I mean,
I don't know if it's something in Canada.
What did Josh say?
Maybe
it's a rhetorical question. It's a question asked to be a point of rhetoric.
Thank you.
It was a real question.
Thank you. I don't. Maybe it's a Canadian thing. Maybe
it was really a question.
They don't.
Asked with the intention to make a point. That's what a rhetorical question is.
Was not a rhetorical question. He actually wanted me to answer the question.
No, okay.
But even in asking the question, it makes a point. And the fact that you're not answering the question makes it even.
In Canada, we need you to make the point without the question.
I asked it like 4 times, and I still ain't got it.
It's an easy question.
It's an easy question. It's easy.
It is. I'm not trying to take sides in this situation. I started this whole thing. Well, I didn't start this whole thing, but I went down this rabbit hole because I really actually wanted a point of reference on this whole Beau Demayo situation. The least you could do is answer the question. The very fair question that Darius asked. It's really easy.
Hey, please ask the question one more time before you do. I'm gonna tell you that you were not making a point. Well, ask the question. Go ahead.
You
know the same answer.
You know what I've said, so I mean I've said it quite a few times now.
I don't think we're ever getting the question asked again. It's cool. It's fine. The point was, yes, he wanted you to answer the question because it was a simple question. It should have been a simple question to answer. It's cool. Anyway, do we have any other topics? Like, what do we?
I don't believe so.
Got super chats.